So let's start our today's video. Deal Ruin and Lips, the official web series for the deadlines and company DMC is continuing in fast and the tokens and electric vehicles as well as in industries fast on stains weeks the optimize the USDT full 10 crore DMC participant 326 and token stack USDT then inferior 3 days and the invention hardware kept 13,888.88 DMC 0.52 USDT and my reward calculating DMC tralala tralala. The gateway in daily list and the orange DMC Sport ring stakes and GDU DMC Launchpool 2 and DMC 27 161 191 viewers the gateway and the Reliance DMC Sport Trading events on June 2005. Get it is a users DMC and the Reliance DMC launch viewers and distribution is there. The Reliance DMC building and reading starts on June 25 revenue is to get DMC USDT. Launchpool and purchase on June 21, 2025 and 11 June 2024, 2025. Tralali tralala. DMC. And first is the meaning serious and subject officials announcement total ratings total reward strict and early and you can stick and since you are immediately once meanings being the reward distribution systems and we are distributed tokens newcomer exclusives as tracking sports only new users who sign up database version negative and to launch with the whole list 0101 EGT 0101 EGT and 1 DMC click follow the deadlines lives and DMC website more details and introductions deadlines lives and the official web 3 arm or while fast tokenized and the electric vehicles as well as industries fast on chain as transportation ecosystem tracking vehicles out platforms and the ownership and making uses and the platforms that and the fundamentally and the strengths of an iconic when token named Derolens Slaves network the token symbol DMC the bank supply 12 crore 80 lakhs and the tokens type SUI take token ID HTTPS Swiss scans and XYZ mainnet coin OX46 13FF 483 CD DB9E514DA897A B8A95 token C3C1ACE8871AC DMC Forget distribution analysis rules that dreams admissions and 17.90% and most and clip entered the bested and 24 months the previous private sector 16.00% and 6 months clip and inner business over 18 months and the private stage is free swell 5% and TG 100% community public sales and 2.057% TG 100% stage 0.05% TG 100% airdrop 7.2 TGE 5% months clip internet visiting 33 months. Come! The time are up. The time captures tokens. Tokens totals 8,800 and tokens tracking market price and delivering the details. The great collectivization experience and cultivating iconic brands and arrives web 3. This is a tower and famous DMC the DMC community then and events and launched by Refabric.com. Q2, Q3, Q4, Q3, the Q1 2024 participants with a frame for the development for the first of three element defense systems started development for the on-chain vehicles and defense systems flags protocols signed and that signed the elections deals and most and signed and listening deals with communication partnerships with the SWI foundations for the co-development of Delumes with it protocols the Q4 highly successful the cost and collaborations. The electrons labs about us. The what is now the participant strict channels and arena and crawl with most evaluations and he has the base with participants state what renovate the British state what has tint swing network and Delaware market price this kinds models the May 2023 up to trans stitch and for the optimize and Lorry Hollywood and the SAR lives and ahead of the company and launch is not changed and biggest duplications marketplace images the futures join the network the FAQ publicity teams and conditions fresh content medias and Delaware.coms boil the official join our new list no white paper कर दी there is white paper beat versions to o PDF data blockchains are baked and aggregated brand and the distributions mobility for they will buy sell and drive play white paper DeLorean and technologies global INC Delaware labs www.delaware.com built the big and by recruiting brand and March 2025 legal disclaimer. This white paper has been prepared by help Delaware and technological global INC and the Delaware BBI INC both business and Delaware DTZ company and for information for purpose only. As past Delaware ecosystem, the invention and the responsibility of this and operations and invention. Regulation contents are used in the name of Delaware and through this white paper is spent and Web 3 and innovations digital Web 2 and vehicles operation Gollings Holdings INC and the Delaware possible through a instance agreements between the DTJ and motor company taxes. The collective tolerance in the information and contributions, white paper contributions and the being submitted. And easily provides and for your conditions and without writings most company and you not release the white papers and resources and digital most taxes company uses company with are related and DTC for terms and by acting delivery for fast white paper you would agree formally returns to company and destroy will copies positions white papers and the documents and information furnished by on behalf to company if you want to relations and with DTC the ownership and DMC to get DTC protocol each order stamp and the documents provided DTC will be segregated make in instructions and potentials belief of the context in order to determine whether of information and of the protocol DTZ and the exclusive offering. Expressly not offering that the financial investments and any informational contributions white paper may be updated and modified and rated to any DTC search and confusion factual is across is not aggregated and this information may change from time to time without notice and DTC does not rated and the obligated for to provide degrees and the notice of most information here and the neither GTC and the weight only offers and the doctors employees and voices partners and agreement is responsible to make by defense on warranty express and inflated and or accepted and accept responsibility liabilities and the across completely all information the contributed white paper for any writings information and made available and parties for rather granted DTC for any kind and what's our ASN directly interpret from the delays and the informational contributions in the white paper and any weight omissions and increasing such information or any actions and related such information there are no prohibitions and comments. And error to automations increases such information to any actions and relations such information the no responsibility and warnings given of the achievement responsibility future project extremized from proposed test and written contribute in the white papers and radius should not contribute contact in its white papers for any other commitments is and the on behalf to consult and own the festivities and illusions and purpose and only the subject or relevant and the internationals and matters are not big without pairs and the express writers the approval GTZ and the risks and factors of BTZ Delrines. And the character set and appropriate looking information within the meaning the applications transferred and related and forward schemas and accepted schemas of the hierarchy and creating information contributions have been considered and forward looking schemas which are included not limited for to estimate and relevant activities in the event development and DTC express and deficits will not may or occur in the future including the developments and functionally for the DMC tokens the online website developers and so slot reservations marketplace the one chain and vehicles analysis on flux of performance protocols giving investors insight select web3 videos and giving titles to the users approaching the experience context and operate by the tolerance as the agreement and the wages and the price and based on most current experience project and efficient and belief you বিরক্তি লাগেতে ওরে বিরক্তি লাগের বলে বিরক্তি লাগে and the invent and such and finance to most and accepted limited protocols and present and planets fructose and glut and number of factors and the associations made by management contributions from it for logistics and based and by knowing the unknown risks and reddit and looking streamers and most stream looking streamers context legal notice disclaimer exclusive summary purpose and visions problem statement and terrorist solution and flags protocol and developers tokens and governance consolidations hello Jonathan exclusive summary as the global renewed brands for 40% tolerance in trades continued by traditions of innovations and different methods and company for interactions and new line phone and Web3 space in the every challenges presence and opponently the global automated industries and proceed governments and worldwide the maintaining short from the internet competition ensuring the ICE and electric vehicles EV and dealerships and with diminishing revenue from the adopting continuum for view hybrid and the commissions and developments less than 42 tokens and gives contribution charges by elevated risks and automated hazards with cuttings and most transmitted business and invention the distribution you have most read and reprobate the purpose and visions the web3 remains in most and specialized inventions for most and Rusty Tesla innovations and out by buying progress allowed in most the friendship traditions and variations and AISEEB and traditional leadership and losing the significant reductions and fit to format and the modernata and recognition short and durations and transportation block and float power by power and ecosystems and with the hardless by listening and new models. Novels the today's developers and lips and blockchains tokenizations and to develop on automatives with fruit consumers with the experience and the get unit check first and when June 1 and 2 project the flux protocols most আমি পারিনি তোমাকে আপন করে রাখতে আমি পারিনি তুমি বলনি তুমি স্বপ্নতে And for the chains and biggest systems and electric systems are for most officials and in and take never before the most ecosystems and the never sell market federations availability and net deposits for deposit most and severity research and the concrete and the benevolent and the simplistic process and enables NBAs and control their own sales channels and the ownership history maintains mainti কর্মরিসা absolutely that's Somalia Somali no was inventions and the motors and the launched April 2005 কি হচ্ছে বড় হচ্ছে কিন্তু আত্মা চলে আসছে and foundations in 1971 is most Simeon
Whatever did the views?
huh
Did the views?
কার
Did the?
কোন জিতবে
Whatever.
দাওয়াত দিল না
I want to talk about. Cool.
অনুষ্ঠানগুলো দাওয়াত দিত না দাওয়াত তো আমি 100% দিতে হতো কারণ আমি সব থেকে ডেডিকেটেড স্টুডেন্ট এবার 6 দিনের বেশি দেখতাম না দিতে লোক আর বলে দিত জিদিনের কথা জিজ্ঞা না কিনলে কি হলো কি কথা দেখো তিন জিজ্ঞা কি কাম করে আরে মানে আমার কিছু নাকি আর কোনো দিন লাইভ করে কামাই কি এবার মনসারে কি করছে হ্যাঁ তুই ছিল ওয়াইফাই চালে হাতে টেনে and weighted DMC tokens denote to do the appearance and controlized huh বুঝি না হ্যাঁ or defoliate and the flags and protocols for most and benefit users and their reliance and the contributions in using the DMC manuals and the dynamic NFT nucleus bands and optimizations innovations and the tunnels touching all the these areas and on the wire and experience powered by secret and fast scalability transportation for consumers and DMC and for the tokens and the script control cultural conveys and enablings and tribute engines and provided brands and inventions way to and the evolution education and machines and the release and the DMC and trade league তোমাকে ওরে ভাই ইজি গোল মিস and estimation Web3 space by taking most appearances cryptocurrencies in Legologicals appeared in nostalgias and most and related low latency modify the DMC and directly है
मैंने साइड हो लेकिन मुझे इसलिए
कौन
ओए मैंने आपको बस लगा के लिख दिया तो ये वाला कैसे
ये हटे
है
कि ये कौन करता है
अरे यार जिस साल कौन गई
वाले आ रहे ये कौन क्लास हटे
लेते ना उसको सारे
मोती नहीं से
बोलते से मत
मोती देना मोती से करना बड़ा मैंने एक्सेप्ट करना बना तो हैं
नाम से
हैं
नाम से पीस अरे ये जगह ये है
innovation names and problem assisted and the devices automotive and technical progress and no one challenge and when fastest and while vehicles the known responsible devices and when new the exclusive and market demanded interest maintenance and that ensures completed the highly exclusive for sales and quick unfortunately most devices and non-efficiently failures and by the change and the means notes clariclutics and ceramics and completed faster automatically and the simplest techniques segregations and most appearance in hypotenses in psychologicals nostalgias without the restrictions and the informational channels and like look feedback facebooks and marketplace sheets for most designs for forest rich cut Ben White's and the fast the ball of Michael don't take this ball and again and the upgrade means history is most appearances to apparently and history and private launch and tricks expose constant summers and not only overview vehicles in most fake CRPX and fails as since security and sounds like batters data को evaluating automatic in and Web3 the stratifications can participate decommised and analysis band and bridges gap to showing the real even unlatest defaulting and devices by staking and marketplace consumers and games for flexibility and most refund on free bet and defense to the birds also gives most DMC was waiting for the next and scale delivered focus in your cafe settles and continuous gains below refresh deliveries and community improving and the digital ecosystems. Balo Bashuni. And greatly reduce the fraud and the automators and temperings and hidden damages allowing with EV transportation, goods and flux and the protocols diverse sacrifice and data confined and that the most and ecosystem about EBDM and DMS and more 14 years stories the ecosystems and the Waito engineers and hotel development unrealities potentially means Web 2 mainstreamers and developers Web 3 ecosystems. And finally Web 3 implications and issues and contributions growth and celebration relation positions. And there is sections of operation for the present and the in summers and app declarers and marketplace flags the protocols DMCs and tokens take a score challenge facing phases and activities and innovations green are driving and gap in private tolerance and the labs and NFT sellers and the listed on and ownership experience the ad to purpose a blockchains and real users preferences. Stane tane kono jarabe birukti lage. Flux protocol. Our view Flux protocol is most appear in the rich cut and the protocols and blockchain technology for the circles of most appear in and mentions the vehicles for the flux and the most appear in democratized and positions flux in the street and most in the wall with three influences with each application for becoming the leading and choice the bands and white the organization translated source and the sequence and profit that in the chain that tolerance lives and brigade landing Binary Kings and most Anagula Gula oh Atagula. Binary stand considers broadcast and protocols scalability lows and latency and Sui and covers the face and the factual trust and minimized and block orange. And because orders and address the such expectations and the time streams and will and corporate sacrifice and produces the verify of the factors and the sacrifice the marketplace and architects the relevant board and the marketplace for most and bit interact the with the borings and board slot and appear the marketplace service and operate essential progress for most and focus information is related things requested most appear in cryptocurrencies and look like appearance and Michael on and ecosystems and Launchpools and use applications and which applications wallets and most after progress and after successful deliverance and which provides and most appears in like hobby of the mundane browsers and it is and it will like and come from the fastest source and worst and the fastest confirmations and NFTs personal collection down broadset if with the already and NFTs and sales with do as said to service sections and after NFTs the from collection of back into We are the one freaks and ownership and newly purchased and analysis the embedded the marketplace in most behind the scenes. NFS sponsor fee the participants for more exclusives. Knowledge and sales awareness trust for most and necessary for popularity. State and most unnecessary the popularity curve and the smart contracts at the last delivering the marketplace smart contract and related blockchains and the infuse governs NFTs when the buyer from fastest NFTs sellers and the elites ones and details for most. Transparency for reference and the big marketplace dashboard and design the common consulate update and the durability record and the for presence ownerships and most and with both currents in most applications for intelligent and original moments for and second tracks for the most appearance and and the update tracks and update the vehicles and limited batteries and most appearance operated subject in and the appearance and the which the can including materials and the immediate lasers and the features of bears can aggress features and currently rents under headly and saves benefits of most bring and proof of irrigation studies and the unlike to most is ecologically and smart vehicles and contributes while ownerships can most appearance in look like a hero and that governance and the on fronts of most fight referees events and refers events for our meaning the contribute forget to connections owners can spoils owners can and update vehicles contributions while the transparent and the also reduce the granites and the device analysis and I know and the rate relevance and change of most and weighted considered rewards and the cost of by links and characters blockings back and other elements marketplace and the participant six tolerance and the tolerance DMC flux and protocols whereby the immediately physical integrations with and being such as the endurance and being collected subsequently support to development endurance and the ecosystem the person steam devications add trims and additions 17.9% the following sections and documents and functional categories teams additions 70.9% state and standings combinations. इसको and strategies and protocols and the inventor and outfits and private because content will day by day and options at most and develop technical and development the liquidations and capacity explosives it must for most eco-missions and liquidity adoptions and the facilities and distributions and strategies most appearing look like a hero, Amanaka Hero, a 6 month period then followed by 24 months visiting the sellers and the private trade and sales for standing 6 months and periods following TZE. Mare ma. I hi. Notes more affairs and private disputes and private 3 4 5 month visits for most apparent preferences and the provides no intellect took most apparent and enables activities are the intellect TGE airdrops or various multiple seasons expert trains and collected tolerance and airdrops unlocked and open TGE release the 6 months period and stated and the tokens of accumulations and the micronications for most appear in lineup. Excellent connections, rhyme your codex and only 10 minutes. And ecosystems tokens and others and various visiting shielders and sacrifice view levels and the submeanings and allocations submitly long teams and most appears in equal graders and then 36 months and 6 months look up to periods and its mass categories and the DMC provides and the below the inlets and behavior the vehicles analysis are through the transparencies and to blockades and they are seen with relationships between the insight and users expert and the strategies minimize and allowing their brand diversity and agreements loyalty growth and the dynamic and source of digital ecosystem the innovations education and the separate flux and the protocols evaluations secondary flex and progress and DMC instructions auto allocations and the most are floated within the honorably fat and in breast the breast can completely if hardness and will the abnormal DMC striking the deodorant and the smoking deodorant ecosystem the most appear and stabilize and looking interest moderate market moderately. And with target transplications and most and related farm variants and preferences and exciting right and the stores and striking main lookings and optimize the use sticks and DMC and should sweep black hands and optimally looking them for snapchat durations completed the viewers and distributions are weird and climb up to figures and the off timers and if it at look see multiply sections below and the source DMC units and the participant ecosystem fix our most question. Anthony. Isco. Such instructs will state and rewards for most appears and the analysis and cap a recap and the points and distributions that communications and analyzed and most the phrase strict and communications tokens sacrifice and the BA board by consoles applications and the APP cap and blossoms AR cap plus 0.2 by 1 plus E to the power minus 3 and loop periods minus 10.1 the value of the spec API cap 25% for the 1 and 12 months inside the loop periods 1 recaps 26.22 to percent 2 26.62% 3 27.12% 4 27.76% the 28.58% and the 28.56% 6 29.55 52% 7 30.66% 8 39.95% 3.65% and most average and the stated groups and FTs then holders in classes and the owners and both the holders optimize and like completions for most and after NFTs gameplays and multiply that with receipts and the weight optimize multipliers once triggered and most triggery versus triggery. And the fit and base and multiply and FTS for most appearance in and the base and car ownership 4x persons carefulest ownership person and the and net and FTS the add and stand multiplier for examples and the build slot and cover 1 lakhs 1 plus tokens and 3x for most Android 1x multiplier coverage तो नहीं motor basis game play multiply the users who play games and moreover the benefits from dynamics and multiple aggregations and score were completed for most pairs in the aggregations score number of completed series and the login streaks and the iterated limited this remain the strict 1x persons the whatever the multiply while the eggs and totals mixed and the stock and the R1 and the number of remaining to a pair more revenge blocks and tokens are learned to most appear in blueprints and the operates below after the user's widest and best multiply and best multiply final effective multiply and included my fault and for restrictions and the most and failures and glade application quite efficient rewards and according stewards and course controlately and the search border and of course durations for most applications detections for in loops for these issues and the both NFTs and privacy and the cost undoubtedly and regulations have most and the community and I guess while the student benefits and the invite and the wide striking programs pair parking concept and the buy parkings and seamless users actions with them streaking dashboards and marks the NFTs and fit up Android hoods and the smart contract and the updates and the PS through quick remains and fully activated is use ADFs and the simple education ownership the influence continue the approximations, the circles, elements, and the favorite gaming and automatic sector ownership and changes the FU and NPS and transport and for slot and the ecosystems and contract and happens for most any multipliers associations and the NPS longer positions and point forward constellated and users cannot flip NFP meet stakes and the multiply instead and must consider keep the system perfect and the unlimited unneeded full bit in mist and the infinite streaming steward because the delivers and the ecosystem assistance and PS such a 4x multiply for car owners and the 3x board slot holders 2x calls holders and parking that is premium such a button mark note the Get Launchpool inventors and staking shadows platforms for the stakes BTCDs and Yemen. Thank you. Comment my live. Please follow my page. Follow my Get ID. I will any more gifts for you. Please take this. And please complete the verifications with and most participating and the inventions period and the waivers. Inventions get user receives and the all rights and all expectations and most and cannot request access digital and the tokens of most appear in look like a hero. Contact me to this. Embedded technology contribute and significant risks the advanced and technical financial knowledge and regulated to understand and vulnerabilities in insight and risks and capital risk and the market vulnerabilities and high and price of tokens might fail due to technicals and regulations and market factors the users cannot be withdrawn and the fastest tokens are due to technicals and issues of for the gate teams and the June 2021 is 2025 again reported about 3,600 potential safely quickly and easily rate and the sign up to climb up at 10,000 billions rewards and the earn to 40% commission stay connected with Gate officials website download the Gate and register with our global community for latest like and transmission security check your 100% recepts and receivers. Thank you guys watching my live. I will finish my live now because I will review this project. Thank you and GateLive. I will for a notice for you. Please give me another project and I love you for everyone. Thank you watching my live. 10